Pain is not a correct currency. Harm, agitation, negative stimulation, and the show of negative results are not means by which to exchange value. Moving forward into a very new eon that we're stepping into as a result of having explored our fields thoroughly enough to be ready to bring them back together and gather the great minds and technicians of our current world to reform and upgrade it through re-engineering our materials, our infrastructures, our built environments. And that includes considerations for everything. Because to be quite honest, we do have capabilities for re-terraforming. And it's of vital and crucial importance that we avail ourselves of our capabilities in ways which are ethical. Meaning with deep and compassionate consideration for everyone. Yes, I have been fielding some stratas of anxious, crisis, emergency considerations, and it has not been a comfortable process for me. Yet I am here, and I am saying to us that we are needed, and we are needed at our best, most well-considered, emotionally mature, communicative, clear, that we are able to coalesce as with ourselves and with one another. And we are going far. In our processing of upgrading to reduce harm. Because I, for one, do believe in the Hippocratic Oath, brought to us by Hippocrates, who was very sufficiently clear about our needs: fresh air, fresh water, good rest, clean food, free of toxins, free of poisons. And when I say free of, I mean without them. Safe, comfortable dwelling spaces. Fresh air outdoors. And if I'm missing something, feel free to refresh me. Those of us who have sincerely taken oaths to be with Hippocrates as we live and breathe. Taking a walk with Hippocrates, no harm. Which means, yes, a plethora of opportunities to get our world better for us and be kind and loving of ourselves, to respect ourselves, to be honest about our sensations and experiences, about what has been acceptable to us, what is not acceptable to us, what needs reforming in our very own lives, what we can do to help ourselves along in that process, and ways that we need support. I've been focusing on considerations for the grounds that we walk on, the materials of the buildings that we live in and work in and be in physically, the quality of our access to air, fresh air, whether inside or outside, the sounds of our environments, and upgrading for no harm to us physiologically, neurologically, or otherwise physically, no harm. And I don't wish to leave out psychologically at all. No harm. No harm is acceptable. And that may be difficult for some of us to perceive because we come from circumstances brought to us by enslavement of people of African descent on this continent, my continent of North America, and tearing apart of our families, tearing us away from our language, our manners of connecting our sensations through bridges of thought to share them with one another in ways that are rooted in customs which come from our lands, the places where we originated. And I know that it may be that I seem very calm in my conveyance of this information. That's because if I were to fully express my feeling about it, I might die. And I've brought up my African heritage first, simply because it rolled out of my mouth first. We are dealing with the physical and psychological effects of nations here in North America, where I am, based on the attempted genocide as of my people, indigenous people of this land, tearing apart of our families, tearing us away from our lands, tearing us away from our languages, our bridges for sharing sensation with one another through the connection of customs, engaged in and drawn forth from loving ourselves and our lands, our originating lands, factors of our original identities. And what I'm sharing with you is a review of cruelties, horrors, misfits of mistaken understanding brought to us by normalizing errors. None of this is okay. It has never been okay. And it's time for us to gather our faculties and move on from it. I am proposing that we reform and upgrade from the two nations who have engaged in such atrocities, Canada and the United States, and move on in the spirit of humanitarian regard for one another, especially and specifically our hearts, to unbreak them, unshatter them, and bring us back together as humanity. And say, we know that we're capable of love. We know that we're capable of peace. We know that we're capable of consideration, respect, particularly of one's boundaries, particularly of one's person, physically. to say that we do not wish pain on ourselves, nor on one another, nor on anyone. To say that we do not wish to accept poison as a part of our agricultural products that we have created, that we don't need to continue to create a world in which we have different strata of agricultural products, some of which are truly food, which is not harming us, and some of which is poisoning the public. There's nothing okay about that. Poisoning the public is not okay. And if I'm speaking with someone who has been harmed, and I know I am because we've all been harmed, I have to say to you, we are better than that. Even though our lives have been touched by cruelty, we are better than that. And we are capable of being well considered, emotionally mature, clearly communicating as best as we can with as reduced harm as we can muster to bring ourselves forward into less harm and no harm cultures. We're here to live. We're here to feel good. We're not here to feel bad. And I know that some that might sound like an oversimplification of the complexities of life. And while I do regard us highly enough to engage with the truth of the matter that life is complex, I also regard us highly enough to say that when it comes to the foundations for our world, criteria, variables for consideration, yes, we are here to feel good. We are not here to feel bad. We're not here to regard ourselves lowly for being the biological creatures whom we are. We're here to honor ourselves as sacred and to gather our materials, faculties, wisdoms of one another and ourselves, and bring about more comfort, more pleasure for ourselves and everyone as a way and ways of life, with respect and regard and honesty, so that we can enjoy life, which is what I'm here for, enjoying life. Nothing less. My name is Milandi Mahassan Madiba. I'm here. Milandi Mahassan Madiba. You can call me Madiba. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you can call me Ms. Madiba. Love and honor yourself first. And you will inevitably love and honor me, because you're honoring the truth of your empathy. We're here.